co-host so I can screen share?
Yes. Maybe.
You click the little like 3 dots next to my name. It should say make co-host.
I'm just going to make you the host.
Perfect. Okay. Now I can admit people to the meeting. I'm going to share, you guys. I never do PowerPoint, so consider yourself just lucky because I never do this. Okay. I am so excited. Obviously, I just drink Energize, so I'm going like a zillion miles an hour. But I wanted to kind of just share a little bit about my story, how I started coaching, and really what I did over the last 4.5 years to build a very successful team, business, downline, passion. So I'm going to give you kind of 5 tactical tips at the end, but first let's kind of just go over some of the basics. Some of you guys know me. If you don't, hey, my name is Julie. I started coaching in October of 2016, literally like 2 months after we had gotten married. I was a cheerleader in college, and after that I was kind of like, now what? What do I do? And so Beachbody really transformed my own health and fitness journey. Sorry, I'm trying to admit people now. And so that's kind of what got me plugged in. I love sharing this on Coach Secrets and stuff too. Actually, and you guys, will you turn on your video so I can see your face if you're not like doing something crazy? That'd be super nice. So anyway, I was actually in a coach sneak peek 4 times. And it took 6 months of my coach asking me to join before I finally said yes. So I share that because sometimes we like think we're annoying when we're asking people or inviting people to our challenge group or inviting people to coaching. She took 6 months of inviting me for me to get into her challenge group, another 6 months of her inviting me to coaching every single month, until I finally was like, okay, I'm doing this. And here we are now. So you just never know who you're going to sign up. So, always follow up with people. 1.5 years into coaching, I actually left my full-time nursing job and went part-time with nursing. And currently we are now a 3-time elite team. This last year we finished number 18 in the network. I'm a Success Club 10 All-Star legend. And so I don't think I've ever missed a month of Success Club. And now I coach full-time. Here's my cute little family. I have a 2-year-old Ezekiel. And a now 7-month-old Savannah, and then my sweet husband, Keegan, who's been my biggest cheerleader along the way. Okay, let me start here, you guys, because I feel like sometimes we hear these coaches who are like 15-star diamond or 3-time, 5-time elite or 6-figure earners or whatever. And we're like, oh my gosh, they must have been rock stars from the beginning. They crushed it in their first year. Everybody knew their name. And that just was not my story. And I actually love that this wasn't my story because I think it's the vast majority of people who have been successful in coaching aren't those overnight successes. Like sometimes we see those and we're like, oh, I could never do that. That's okay. You don't have to be the unicorn. You have to be steady and consistent and keep showing up. So first of all, can we just LOL at some of these posts that I posted on social media? You guys, I barely hit Success Club my first 6-7 months. I made it a non-negotiable from the beginning to always hit Success Club 6, but literally sometimes I was like scraping the barrel last day of the month. I remember one month I was like, Dad, will you please buy Shakeology this month so I can hit it? Like I was like, I will do whatever it takes to at least hit Success Club 6, no matter what. Like I will do all the follow-ups, all the invites. I don't care. People who have gone before me and said to build a successful business, that means at least at the bare minimum hitting Success Club. I'm going to do that because they're being successful and that's what they've done. So if I want to be successful, I'm going to do the same thing. And so I did. I made that a priority from the beginning to never miss a month of Success Club, no matter what. But again, I wasn't pulling like giant numbers at the beginning. If I had hit Success Club 10, like that was a big month for me in my first year. So if you're the person that's hitting Success Club 6 and wondering like, am I ever going to be an elite coach or is this ever going to be my full-time job? Like keep freaking going. Keep going. You signed up 3 clients that month. That's a win. On to the next. So that was me too. My social media was a hot mess. Like look at the things I was posting. Like just word vomited, hashtagging program names. I was all over the place. But I was showing up consistently. I was doing my programs consistently. I was sharing authentically. Like that was me at the time. That's how, I don't know. That's how I knew to share on social media. And so people kept watching. And I just failed forward. I learned as I went. Again, my Instagram didn't explode overnight. Like I barely had any followers, and I just didn't wait till I was ready. I failed forward. I showed up and I just went. Okay. I wanted you guys to start there to see that, like, wow, I was a hot mess at the beginning, but at least I was showing up. Okay, so I want to kind of give you guys 5 things that I think are really the things that laid the foundation for my business, and they're still the exact same things I do 4.5 years later. It's not like I have all of a sudden completely shifted the way that I run my coaching business now that we are an elite team, or now that I do have a team of my own. I'm doing these same things, and that's why it's still working. Like that is why my business is still growing, is because I stayed in phase 1. So here's what that looks like. Number 1, and you guys, these aren't going to be like mind-blowing things that I share with you tonight, and that should actually be like a breath of fresh air, right? The fact that it's not some crazy formula that you have to follow in order to have success, that's amazing. Like that means you can do it, I can do it, Sally next door can do it. Anybody can be a successful coach doing these things. That's the best part. Okay, off my soapbox. Number 1, show up religiously for your journey. You guys, I need you to like do a come to Jesus moment here. It starts with you. You're a coach. That's an added layer of accountability. That means you need to get real serious about, am I doing a program start to finish? Is my nutrition all over the freaking place so that I don't have a transformation to show right now? Because if so, your business is literally depending on your journey. And I'm not saying that you have to be a 6-pack abs kind of person, or that you have to be at your fittest right now, but you better be showing that you can show up consistently for your programs and getting some kind of results, whatever that looks like. Muscle gain, weight loss, internal transformation, being able to be consistent, again, whatever it looks like. But you got to get serious about doing the programs start to finish. When's the last time you shared a before and after picture on social media? And if you're like, well, I don't really have a before and after picture to share. Okay, get your butt in here and let's get a before and after picture. Like that is so cool. But this is part of our job, is taking care of ourselves and working on our own health and fitness. So again, when's the last time you did a program start to finish? People following you on social media should know that you are in the middle of doing a program that has a start and an end date. Because if they think that you're just like sharing fitness for like just lifelong, whatever, like obviously this is lifelong, but having a start to finish gives people something to see. Oh, they started something and they saw it through to completion. Maybe I could do that too. So letting people know that you are doing this start to finish. You guys, your journey is your job. And that is so fun, right? Like that's so fun that this is literally part of our job. And I guarantee people are watching. Guarantee they're watching. And even if it's one person, 5 people, however many, that is making a difference in somebody else's life, potentially a really big difference in somebody else's life. So just know they're watching. You might feel annoying or silly posting the same selfie every day on your Instagram story after you completed your workout. Day 1, check. Day 2, check. Day 3, whatever. You're not annoying. You're consistent. So keep showing up, keep doing the things. Again, they are watching. Okay, number 2, you guys, even if you're doing this part-time or as a hobby, or you're just trying to bring in $50 to $100 a month, whatever it might be for you, work like it's your job. Because if you treat it like it's the last thing on your list, guess what? It's going to pay like it's the last thing on your list. So, no, I hustle behind the scenes. Like mama works, because I treat this like it's my job. And I've done this from day 1 of signing up. It took me a hot minute to get plugged into coaching, But once I did, there was no turning back. I was like, dude, if I'm doing this thing, I'm signing up. Like, I might as well freaking do the thing. So I share this because this is what my tracker looked like for 2 years. 2 years. You guys, look how like silly and simple this thing is. Like a $5 notebook from Target, and each page was a week. And I would write out what I wanted to accomplish Monday through Friday. So I wanted to add 3 new friends. That's expanding my network. 5 boxes for Monday through Friday. I wanted to initiate 3 new conversations every day. So 3 invites. Monday through Friday, 5 boxes. So every time that I would sit down to work, I knew exactly what I was doing. I had 45 minutes to do my power hour. Like, I would get up at 5, do my 45 minutes, do my quiet time, pray, and then go to work. And then I would come home and I had a husband and other things to do. So I didn't have all the time in the world. I needed to know exactly what I was doing. And having those check boxes in a super, super simple list to blow through made it really productive for me. So this is what I did. I love the SC BAT, the business activity tracker, but honestly, it's a little bit busier than what this was. So if that's like overwhelming for you to look at, simplify it. Like, make a super simple list just like this, and you can see the areas that I obviously had a harder time inviting to coaching. And look, you guys, my numbers were not giant at the time, right? Like, I was trying to commit to what I knew I would do consistently. It is more beneficial for you to say, I'm going to invite 3 people every day, Monday through Friday, than to say, I'm going to invite 100 people and do it once a month, right? Because then you just like poop out. It's too much. You can't get back to all the messages and you just are exhausted. So if you can do 3 people a day consistently, think of how many people you're inviting, how many conversations you have going, how many coach invites you send. If you send 1 coach invite a day, you guys, that is 5 coach invites a week. That's 20 coach invites a month at least. At least. That's a ton. When's the last time you did 20 coach invites? And all that is 1 invite a day, right? So I love looking at this because this is literally like what my business started like. Not fancy, super simple. Anytime I had challengers in my group that were killing it, I put them on my little coach watch list. And this is funny because Callie Yoder is one of my premier 2-star coaches and she crushes it. And she was on my coach watch list. Again, this is literally where my business like breathed. And this, how non-professional does this look? It doesn't have to be fancy. Okay. If you don't clock in, you don't get paid. Like I said, I would get up at 5, show up, do this silly little checklist, and then get on with my life. No scrolling. Again, here's another come to Jesus moment, you guys. Watching people's stories to connect is a waste of your time. I need you to get in, pick your couple people you're connecting with, and then get out. Quit wasting your time on social media and saying, I'm working. Like, that is so disrespectful to our family and our husbands when we say that we are working on our phone and really we're just scrolling to get inspiration or whatever. Like, get real with yourself and know it's a gift that we get to build a business from our phones, right? But when you are on there, like, put your blinders on and get it done and then go live your life. Like, that's the blessing of this business. No scrolling. Just by cutting out scrolling on social media, I literally found time to like have an entire another power hour. Having conversations or going back and forth with people do not count as your invites. Inviting is actually inviting somebody to be in your group. And no matter what, you guys, just do something every day to move your business forward. So if you don't get through this whole list, if literally something happens, your kid poops and there's shiz all over the bed, I don't know, whatever, that happened to me like a couple months ago. But just do something to move your business forward that day, right? Like, even if you don't get through your whole power hour, do something. That way, at the end of the day, you feel somewhat accomplished, like you showed up for your business, okay? And at the end of the day, you guys, you've got to do the vital behaviors. Like, this is our business. These 4 things, this is what our business is. So I feel like so many times people are like, oh, it's a slow month for me, or I feel like I'm just not able to sign anybody up. I'm like, okay, when's the last time you did these 4 things every single day for a month? It's not the model that's not broken. It's that you're not showing up for it consistently. Like, this model works. It's actually not hard. but we have to show up for it. And again, I'm not promising you success overnight, but this does mean that over time, you will consistently grow. Like I said, I wasn't the overnight success story. It took me 9 months to go diamond. And then it took me probably another year to go 2-star. Like, I was not the person who skyrocketed to the top, but I was the person who steadily kept growing. My income kept growing. I kept showing up. I kept going until I, finally hit some of my bigger goals. So there's no secret sauce, you guys. You are the secret sauce. So you showing up consistently, that's going to be the game changer. Okay, third thing of 5. And I hope this is a breath of fresh air for you guys. Quit trying to be fancy, right? You don't have to be fancy. We're a 3-time elite team. I don't schedule out my Instagram posts. I don't use the Unfold app to create fancy things for my Instagram stories to have beautiful whatever. And again, if that's your jam and you love doing that, do it. But for me, that's so energy sucking. I don't like to create graphics. That's just not me. It takes way too much time, and I would way rather spend my time inviting someone to be in my challenge group. That's going to move my business forward compared to me spending forever on all these fancy graphics that don't actually sign me up somebody. So again, if that's your jam, do it, have fun with it. But cut the fancy schmancy. Another thing that I don't do is a weekly newsletter or a monthly newsletter or any newsletter, because I tried it. Again, such an energy suck for me. Time wasted, didn't sign me up any new clients. So I don't do that. So sometimes I feel like we see all these coaches, and especially, there's a Facebook page. I think it's maybe Boss Babe Masterminds. And people post some really fancy, fun graphics to share in there. Those are great. I hope you use them if it's something that fits your business. But here's the temptation, I think, is like, oh my gosh, everybody else is doing all these fancy things. I need to have all these fancy things for my challenge group or on my stories. And then suddenly we're wasting so much time creating all of these things that we think we need for a fancy business, that now we're like, oh my gosh, I have no Success Club points on the board because you haven't spent any time inviting, right? So cut the fancy schmancy, do the things that are going to move your business forward first. And then if you have time and it brings you joy, do some of the fancy stuff, right? But keep it so simple, so simple. Kind of like I said before, you guys, comparison will be the death of your business. So you have to keep your blinders on. This is probably something that was helpful for me at the beginning is, some of you guys may know this, but the gal that I am signed up with, so I'm actually four levels deep from Nikki. I'm like kind of my own little island. So it's Nikki, Tori, couple people, me. My coach quit coaching 2 weeks after I signed up. She's technically still like there. But I had no clue what I was doing. And so, I wasn't in a team page. I didn't know anybody else coaching. I was just like making it up as I went. And I think that was helpful for me because I wasn't looking around at other coaches who had signed up at the same time. I'm like, oh, they went diamond faster than me. Oh, they're hitting higher Success Club numbers. Like, I was just like, I'm running a group. I'm having fun. I'm helping people get healthy. And I think that was actually so helpful for me because I was just having a blast inviting people, having a blast growing my group, getting people healthy. And I wasn't looking around at all the other accolades or the speed that other people were going. I was just going the speed of me. And so if that's you, it's so fun to be on a team that is running and motivated and excited. But at the same time, the temptation to look around and compare to other people's businesses is real. So put your blinders on, do your thing, have fun, and that's what's going to make your business grow. So hashtag do your crap. I think Michael Folsom says that. Okay, one quote that I wanted to throw in here because this really was something that like catapulted my business forward at the beginning. It's from The Compound Effect. I think I've read it 3 times now. And my team knows this, I say this all the time, is what's simple to do is also simple not to do. The magic is not in the complexity of the task. The magic is in doing the simple things repeatedly and long enough to ignite the miracle of the compound effect. Let me break that down. You guys, the power hour is not complex, right? Like Inviting people to your group, not complex. We physically can all do that. We know how to send an invite. It's not hard. The magic is not in the task itself. You don't have to have some special talent in order to ask somebody to join you on a workout program. The magic is in doing these simple things repeatedly and long enough to ignite the miracle of the compound effect. Look, if you show up for 1 month and you do your invites, you do your power hours, and you're like, oh, I'm not where I want to be in my business set. Sister, you've been doing it for 1 month. Keep going and trust that doing it long enough is going to ignite the power of the compound effect. You guys, I cannot tell you how many of the people that I sign up, how many of my Success Club points, how many of my new coaches are people that I have talked to for 3 months, 6 months, a year, 2 years. Literally, I signed up a girl to coach a couple weeks ago who I invited to coaching the first month I was a coach in 2016. And she finally, for the first time, messaged me back. 4 years later, she messaged me back. And she was like, okay, I want to do this. I was like, oh my gosh, wow. But that's the compound effect. And you have to give it time and you have to give it consistency. Okay, someone needs to mute their kiddos. 4, build real relationships. Again, this is so fun, you guys, that this is the business that we're in, is the business of people. We get to have relationships with people. We're not just selling them hairspray. We're not just selling them leggings. Like, we get to come alongside people and be their biggest cheerleader. We get to be that person that is in their ear every day, encouraging them, uplifting them, reminding them that they can do this. So sharing things outside of Beachbody on the reg, on your social media, is going to be what helps you build those relationships with people. Yes, you are a Beachbody coach. Yes, you love health and fitness. Yes, you are on a fitness journey. But, well, it's kind of funny. A lot of these are fitness because we just went on a retreat. But look at my past stuff on Instagram. Family. This was a coaching post, picture of Savannah and that we got snow in the south. Like, another family picture, another kid. I post about so many things outside of health and fitness because that is what really connects me with other people. So a lot of you guys have probably done this, but if you haven't already, think about what are your 5 things that make you you. Health and fitness and coaching can only be one of them. And you should be posting to one of those 5 things every time that you post. And again, that's what's going to help you really connect with your people. And take time, you guys, to genuinely comment and connect with people on social media and make them be your best friend. I usually will set a timer for 10, 15 minutes, and that's my scrolling time. I scroll and I comment on every single person that I'm scrolling past and leave a genuine comment so that they're like, who is this girl and why is she hyping me up on my post? Let's go be friends. And it's so funny when I look through the comments on my social media posts now. Some of them are my group. A lot of them are not my current clients, but they're like my hype women on Instagram, and they're not even one of my clients yet. So that's super fun. But really take the time to do that, because in the long run, that's going to be what helps you have more clients to sign up a year from now, 2 years from now, etc. Okay, last thing, and I kind of touched on this, is longevity. If you guys haven't done a really solid vision board, this was the one that we used last year on the left here, but to really think about and create a vision for what you want in this business, what your goals are, family-wise, financially, fitness-wise, business-wise, growth-wise, personally, all of those things, like truly laying those things out so that you can have this long-term mindset. When I signed up to coach and I said, I'm going all in, I'm doing this thing, it wasn't like, I'm going to go all in and do this thing for 6 months and see what happens. And if I have X amount of success, then I'm going to keep going. It was like, I'm going to do this for however long it takes me to hit my goals. And then I'm going to keep going. For me, it's never been like, I'm going to do this until whatever, until 6 months from now, until a year from now. And if I'm at a certain amount of success, then I'll keep going. For me, it was always, I'm going to do this because I said I would. I'm letting my yes be yes. I'm committing, and I'm not going to quit on people who signed up with me as their coach 3 months ago just because I'm discouraged that it's not growing as fast as I want to. Like, that's not very kind to the people who trusted me to be their coach, and who signed up on my team for me to lead them. this was never, I never had an endpoint. I still don't have an endpoint. Like I will be here for forever. And again, I think having that mentality from day one is one of the things that helped me be successful, right? Because I didn't have an end date on it. It wasn't like this scary, oh, if I don't hit diamond by 6 months, then I'm out of here. It was just like, I'm going to keep going and I'm going to hit diamond at some point. I'm going to hit 1 star at some point. And so it took a lot of the pressure off of hitting these goals that I wanted to hit. And that really allowed me to have so much joy in my business, and not feel like scary or pressure or feel let down if I didn't hit it in a certain amount of time. One thing I always love to think about is that I just passed the 4-year mark. You paid, a lot of us, you paid to go to college for 4 years. Why would you give your business that could be a 6-figure earning or full-time income in business? Why would you only give it 6 months? That makes no sense. Imagine if you went to college for 6 months, you're like, "Oh, I didn't get my degree yet. I'm out of here. Peace." Like people would look at you like you're crazy. Your mindset is really everything in this business. So if you are listening to this call right now, if you are listening to this replay, you guys, if you want to be successful as a coach, you need to make a promise to yourself that you're going to be here a year from now. And not just like still be on the team a year from now, but like I showed up every day a year from now. That is what's going to be telling of your success. And if you are thinking like, oh, I'm just not that person. Like, I just don't think I can be consistent. Life gets in the way. Then sis, you need to do some personal development and know you can do this. It's about making the choice to do it. That's like a challenger saying to you like, oh, I just can't show up every day for my workouts. It's just too hard. And you're like, dude, it's 30 minutes. You can do this. Let's figure out how we can carve out the time. Same thing with your coaching business. You guys, this last 7 months, I've had 2 kids under the age of 2. My husband worked full time up until having her. I also still worked part time as a nurse. Like, I don't just have all the time in the world to continue to hit big success club numbers and add clients and invite. Like, I carve out the time still because this is important to me. And I know if I don't, my business doesn't grow. And how is that fair to my family when I said I was going to do this and I was going to be committed to it? So even still, I make the time to make it happen. And yeah, sometimes there's nights where I'm staying up past the kids, but I got to spend all day with them because I worked so hard to be here. Your mindset is truly, truly everything. Okay, I think that's all I have for you guys. Do you guys have any questions? I'm truly an open book and also such a believer that anybody could do this business. And I always tell my team, if you guys need encouragement, like go to my Instagram, scroll way the heck back, and you'll see my social media and you'll be like, oh my gosh, if she can do this, I can for sure do this, because I was hot Miss Express back then. Let's be real, but I'm still here. So, okay, Jasmine, so funny that you asked this. Yes, absolutely. Free groups. This is something that our team is going to start doing more often. We kind of had been doing like 2 free groups a year, kind of a Christmas in July and then a holiday week free group. But I do think that I think people are having a lot of success. Like the girl on the National Wake Up Call on Monday talked about this. People are having a lot of success signing up clients from free groups, which is kind of funny because that's sort of how things were when like I was thinking about signing up as a coach. People did free groups all the time. Then people kind of got away from it. And now it's kind of, people are going back to it. And I also, this is something I think helped build my confidence at the beginning. Probably my first 6 or 7 months as a coach, I let anybody and everybody into my challenge group. I didn't care if they were doing CrossFit, running, Kayla It Signs. Like, I was like, sis, you want accountability? Come on. And for me, it was just like, I just need to build my confidence as a coach, practice leading, and maybe if they see me posting my workouts in the group, they'll sign up. So I would have like a handful of people doing Beachbody programs each month. And then I finally split groups into like a Beachbody only group and a anybody else group around the 7-month mark. And then eventually a couple months later went to only Beachbody once it had grown. So if that's what you need to do to like get your confidence up and just run a group, do it. There's literally you're the boss of your business. You can do whatever you want. You can let in whoever you want. You cannot let in whoever you want. But that actually was super helpful for me. I was just like, okay, you want accountability, free meal plans, free coaching? Why not? But again, I was giving my time for free, so you just got to keep that in mind.
I have a question.
Yes, ask away.
Okay, so with when you said you invite people into your group, the BOD group, as far as like the programs and stuff, wouldn't they have to purchase that in order to have free, like it wouldn't be free at that point. Like you'd be letting them into the group, but then they would still have to have access to the programs.
Yeah, so I was running them on Facebook, and I was kind of just hosting it as like an accountability group. So it was like, hey, post a picture of yourself after you've done a workout for the day, whether it's a bod program or not. And so for them, it was free. They weren't having to purchase the program. Now, if you're doing it on bod groups, then yeah, they're going to want Beachbody on demand. And again, like if you're like, I have limited time, I need to make an income right now, then I probably don't recommend that. But for me, I was like, I just need to get my confidence up. And so I'm letting everybody and their mom into this group. And it also gave me credibility for these people, right? Like seeing me lead and seeing me be consistent, even more so in a personal space than just on Instagram or just on Facebook. I think that was really helpful. A lot of those people did become customers. Now, I think what she was asking, I think it was Jasmine that asked that. Jasmine, I think what you were asking is doing more like a week-long free group. And again, that's what the gal on National Wake Up Call on Monday was talking about, is doing like a 5-day crockpot group or something where it just kind of gets them in the funnel of seeing the value that you bring as a coach and what these communities can be. It might not be a free group of Beachbody workouts. Maybe you're using the sample workouts and all they have to do is click the Vimeo link and they don't have to have a bot account. But maybe it's we've done this before, a 5 days of no added sugar. That one was wildly successful. You guys, people were all over that. So if you haven't done a sugar-free week, highly recommend. Or again, you could do a crock pot week or a booty challenge where you guys do 100 squats every day or something silly like that. Like, it doesn't matter. But again, I just think getting people in to see what it looks like, what a group is that you're talking about all the time, like they just don't know. And so they're like, I don't know if I want to join that. And getting them in just like a 1 week free group can be super helpful.
Yeah, you guys, that's how, when Julie and I started, that's what you did. You would finish your training, which back then was a Facebook group with just random, I don't even know if you were in that group, Julie, but it was just posts. There was no guide section or unit section to organize it. It was literally like post number 1, video number 3, and you had to scroll through the discussion wall to find it and watch the stuff. And then when you were done, you had your getting started right. And it's like, okay, well, now you need to run a clean eating group or some kind of free group. And that's why if you go into Beat Nick, you will see templates from like way back in the day that are for like 5-day clean eating groups, 5-day build a better booty, like all of those things. That's how we started, because we were bringing content. We were serving others first. And I think we've really gotten away from that a lot over the last couple of years. And I'm kind of excited to see it come back. Actually, mine just reopened yesterday. So I'm pumped for it, for the free group.
Yeah, so fun. Personal development, you guys, compound effect is my jam. And again, I think it just laid the foundation for me, my mindset that like, this is going to take time. It's going to take me time to build momentum. And so I'm just going to keep showing up until that happens. So if that's your jam, do that. Yeah, compound effect is for sure one of my favorites. Okay, this is actually kind of funny. I sort of think having a busier schedule is like kind of helpful with coaching, because then you're like, I got 1 hour where I can do this, or I got 20 minutes that I can pound out invites. Oh yes, raising businesses and babies, I heard, is really good. Right now, honestly, I have found I'm kind of going back to my 5 a.m. power hours. A lot of girls on our team who work full time have wanted to join me. And it's like the one before they're awake and after they have gone to bed are like the 2 times of my day that I know are going to be uninterrupted. A lot of girls will say like nap time hustle. And I'm like, love nap time hustle, but it's kind of not a guarantee. And I need a guarantee that I'm going to be able to do this. So my real raw answer is I'm doing it at 5:30 a.m. right now, and I love it. We just get on, I put on my worship music, have coffee, and knock out an hour of work. And then my rest of my day is so like stress free because I'm like, I already know that I've gotten done the thing that I need to do to move my business forward. Anything from here on out is kind of a bonus. And so, during nap time, I'll check in on my group or like do some of the things that aren't as important maybe, or like that aren't time sensitive. And so anyway, that's what I'm doing right now. Newborn stage, it was really just like, I'm just going to find time in my day and figure it out. And I did. If it didn't happen during the day, I was like, all right, I got 30 minutes at nighttime now that I have to sit down and do this. Because if I don't, then my business stops and it's going to be harder. So it's one of the things in the compound effect is he talks about like pumping a well, and you have to pump and pump and pump and pump until the water starts flowing. But once it's flowing, so much easier to pump, right? But if you stop pumping, the water stops. You got to start all over like, oh, pump, pump, pump. There's no water until it starts flowing again. And so that's kind of how I always think about my business is like, if in newborn phase, I back off, or if 202 phase, I back off. And sometimes people say this, like, I just need to pull back from coaching until life slows down. I'm like, dude, I get it. Just know it's going to be harder when you come back because you're going to have to rebuild that momentum. And so anyway, for me, it was like, okay, 30 minutes at nighttime, I'm going to crank it out. And know that like, that's me being a good steward of my business and continuing to show up for what I committed to. That was kind of a tangent to a short question, but anyway, hopefully that helps. And I do during nap times, I, bust out things too, but, yeah. What do you mean reaching out to working coaches?
Sorry, I've got like 30 questions.
Yes,
tonight.
ask.
So I have reached out to a couple of coaches potential coaches who I thought would be, a potential, obviously. And I don't know, I just feel like I'm lacking in that department of getting actual working coaches that I feel like I just struggle with that part a lot.
Oh, I see. So you mean like reaching out to people who you think would be a good working coach?
Yeah.
Okay. First of all, let me just say, like, I still sign up plenty of people where I'm like, oh my gosh, this person's gonna be a rock star, and they're pumped and they're excited. I'm like, oh my gosh, this girl's gonna go diamond in 30 days. I can feel it. And then they like literally don't do anything. And I'm like, what the heck? And then there's people who I sign up where I'm like, this person's probably gonna be a discount coach, and they freaking crush it. And so you kind of never know who's going to be a working coach. So I try not to count anybody out. I also try not to count anybody in so that I don't get disappointed. But I would say 2 things for like finding working coaches. And I actually did a video on this in the Beachbody Champions page is number 1, your challenge group is going to be where you find the best working coaches. So like pour your heart and soul into your challenge group, make that a fun freaking environment, get your clients results, because then when they do, it's going to be so easy for them to turn around and share that with other people and easily become working coaches. So like put the time and effort into your challenge group. Secondly is how you show up on your social media and like present yourself for potential working coaches is going to be a game changer, right? So like if they see you sitting down to work every day for a short snippet, or if they see like the excitement that you have for checking in on your clients, or you're sharing client wins, or like something small every day that you share about what you do as a coach. And again, it doesn't have to be you like sitting, staring at your phone, like talking about what you do as a coach. Just like share a little snippet of behind the scenes, what you do, so that they see like, oh, she works a little bit every day. Now you're going to attract the people who, when they sign up as a coach, they already know, here's what I'm supposed to do. I'm supposed to show up every day. and get people results, check in on a challenge group, create a meal plan once a week. And so I think that's a big thing too, is it's not necessarily that I'm like, oh, I think this person's going to be a killer coach. It's I'm inviting to coaching, and the people who sign up now already know what it looks like to be a working coach. I think that's been a big like shift in the last probably 2 years on our team. We've had a lot of success starters, and I think it's because when they sign up, they already know what's the deal, right? So I hope that helps.
That's my thing, because I feel like right now I'm only getting discount coaches, which is fine, but I just am like, how do I like start inviting people who actually want to work the business? So
yeah. And yeah, I think it's just gonna be time finding the right people. Like sometimes months will go by where I'm like, dude, I feel like all I've signed up is discount coaches. And then sometimes I'll have a month where it's like, what the heck? I just signed up 3 people who are crushing it and just went emerald. So yeah, give yourself time. And again, I seriously think your challenge group is going to be where you find those people. So get them killer results and then just reach out. Hey, have you ever thought about doing what I do as a coach? You're already crushing it in our group. That's like half of it. And so that's usually a good place for me to transition and find those working coaches. I am not the person that like randomly reaches out to people on Instagram who post fitness stuff. I'm like, hey, you should do this coaching thing with me. Maybe because that wasn't my story. I don't know, but I've just never found great success with that. The majority of my coaches who sign up, who have never done a program or never done Beachbody before, I mean, I have a couple who have crushed it, but the majority either like don't get into it or I don't know. So hopefully that helps. Any other questions? When do I work out? Okay, here's my dilemma. I have time to do like 2 of my 3 priorities in the morning, right? Between power hour, spend time with Jesus, and work out. 2 of those things I can't really do when I have kids around. So those are the 2 I choose to do. So I do my power hour and I have quiet prayer time in the morning before they're awake. And then I usually work out right after breakfast. So after Ezekiel's eaten, we go into our playroom workout room. I work out. He's psycho around my ankles, but it works. And Savannah is usually back down for her first nap at that point. If it doesn't happen then I do it while he naps at lunchtime, and that's okay. I'd prefer to do it first thing in the morning, but I know that that's going to happen, and I don't want to ever push my power hour back and not get that done. Also, you guys, the virtual gym was popping on Saturday, so you should come.
Okay, I have one question. Are you there?
Yeah, ready.
Yeah. Okay. I loved, first of all, I loved everything that you had to say. And I was thinking about the fancy smancy stuff, which is so true. And I preach that all day long to my team. We talk about like messy action is better than you trying to perfect it. For those individuals who like have this thing, like, you know, like you have these coaches who are just like frozen with like, but like my aesthetic is all wrong. And what would you say, in your opinion, is the top 3 what are the top 3 things in your opinion to have an aesthetically pleasing social without using all of the time and energy and effort you have that you should be giving to actually coaching?
Yeah. First of all, you guys, when's the last time you bought something from someone or signed up with someone because they had a great Instagram? Like, think about the coach that you signed up with. Did you sign up because they had the best looking social media? Probably not. You probably signed up because you felt like you knew them on their stories or something like that. So that should just like give you a breath of fresh air. And yes, totally. Reels, you guys are making Instagram like prettiness go, which is so fun. So like one of my coaches, Callie, she's crushing Reels. Her feed looks all over the place now. Tori Heyman, crushing Reels. Her feed is all over the place. So that's also super helpful. But if I would have to say, this is funny that you just said that, Bailey. If I have to say like anything that like kind of makes it look the same is I have one filter that I use and I just adjust it. And honestly, it just kind of makes it brighter. And I just kind of post like similar type photos, right? Like you kind of figure out like, oh, this is how I like to post photos. For me, I usually like to have like a white-ish background somewhere. Our house is white brick, my kitchen is white, and so those are helpful things. But I kind of just try. But you guys, if not, like, dude, who cares? Nobody cares. Just post your picture. It is better for you to show up consistently than to not show up because you feel like you don't have the right pictures. Because now you've done nothing, right? Like, wouldn't you rather do something imperfectly than do nothing? That makes no sense. So I guess that I do think it's helpful to have highlight reels where people can easily go to some of your like top tips. That would be something that I would say at least have those on your Instagram. Again, you don't even have to have pretty bubble covers. Like so many people don't even have those anymore. It doesn't matter. And then your profile picture is the last thing. It needs to be a picture of you, your face, where people can see it. Not like far back with all 20 family members that you have or a picture of your dog. Make it you so people know who you are. That is how I choose to connect with people, is based off their profile picture. I'm like, does this look like someone I'd be friends with? Does this person look happy? Does this person look whatever? That's an easy way for us to know, like, if we think someone looks cool. I don't know. So just make it a picture of you.
I love that. Okay, and last question, unless anybody else has one. What would be your advice to a coach, no matter how long they have been signed up as a coach, but that has stalled out and they want to get restarted, they want to get back in the game, but they don't even know where to begin?
Yeah. So
hi, it's me. She's talking about me.
I am not.
Well, this answer's for you then. Okay, first of all, again, I would start back with your own fitness journey. Are you doing a program start to finish? Are you sharing that on social media? If you're like, dude, I haven't done a program in a hot minute and I'm embarrassed because of that, because I'm a fitness coach, then just share that with people. You know how many other people are like, oh, I made a New Year's resolution and I did it for one freaking week. Like, how embarrassing. And that way you can rally together with other people to come alongside you and do it together. The purpose of us as coaches is not to be like totally perfect. We never miss a workout. We're so pristine, whatever. Our purpose is to create community, to come alongside people, and to bring them in to do it with us. So if you need to restart, share that with people. I've gone through this and I need to press the reset button. I'm doing it. Does anybody want to join me? Whatever. So I would just share that on my social media. I would commit to doing a program start to finish. And I would find personal development that's going to reignite your soul on fire. And I guess last thing I would say about that is anytime I listen to like trainings, the National Wake Up Call, hearing other people's stories of success, how other people are doing it, and realizing like, oh my gosh, this is actually really simple. I just need to freaking show up for it. That always like gets my fire going. And so I always recommend that to my team when they're feeling like, I'm like, okay, when's the last time you've listened to a training? When's the last time you listened to the National Wake Up Call? Like that will ignite your shiz on fire. So go do it, because sometimes we just need to like get some external sources to like reignite us. And know, you guys, that you're not the only coach that's fallen off and wanting to restart. You're not. And there are so many people who have done that successfully. I have a girl on my team right now that just took like a solid 6 months off of coaching. She dropped Emerald. She went inactive. And this month she's back to Emerald. She's signed up like 10 clients with BOD. She just hit Success Club 6. And I'm like, what the heck happened? And she's like, I recommitted to a program. I started doing power hours again. I'm like, let's go, sister. And she's pregnant and she has a toddler. So like, you can do this. You just need to kind of get over it that you're having to restart and just do it. Like, what if a month from now you still hadn't done it? You're gonna be like, oh, I wish I would have just restarted a month ago. Like, okay, now do it. Now restart, dive back in. You don't want to look back a month from now, 6 months from now, and be like, I should have just restarted. You don't want to live with that regret. So just dive back in.
Okay, I have one quick question. I know it's getting late, Julie, if you don't mind.
Oh, I'm here.
Okay, so kind of in a nutshell, what would you suggest with new coach onboarding? Like, I get overwhelmed that I'm either giving them too much, I'm not giving them enough, I'm holding their hands too much, and it's, it gets to be a mind game, and I want them to be successful, of course, but what is your advice?
Yep, I'm going to show you guys what I use. Oh, not that. Okay, so I used to send this lengthy email with all these steps, all these videos, this like laundry list of things to do. And here's what I have found. Well, first of all, let me say, here's what I have also found. I look at who my star diamonds are, who my people who are that are hitting Success Club consistently, and none of them are people that I told exactly what to do or walked them through this, new coach university or anything like that. All of them just figured it out, right? Like they just started Googling, they just went for it. And so I hope that's refreshing for you to know, like, it's not 100% you, whether or not someone succeeds or fails, right? Like some people are just going to sign up and run with it. And so we can give them all the tools, but ultimately, even if we give them all the right tools, if they don't use them, like it doesn't matter. But so here's what I have totally simplified my email that basically says, join our team page, make sure you're on team calls on Monday. You can access your coach online office here and print off this checklist. That's all my email says. And it's like, welcome, love ya, pumped for you. Here's what I send them. Just this. It says, get into my accountability group if you're not already in it. Start sharing on social media. I send them this super quick social media training from Ashley Laughlin. Print off the Success Club business activity tracker. I have a super quick, like maybe 30-minute new coach welcome email that basically just welcomes them to the team, shares how to sign up a client once they're ready to sign somebody up, and kind of just lets them know, like, hey, here's the vital behaviors. Just do the basics. Don't get overwhelmed. You're going to keep learning as you go. So I kind of just reassure them of that in the video. And then hit Emerald, and then just have Diamond kind of in mind. This is all I give them. That's it. And
Awesome.
they're not allowed to move on to the next step until they cross off number 1, then number 2, right? Like it has to go in this order. So I've simplified things a lot. I think that's helpful. I do think we kind of started overwhelming people maybe with these fancy new coach universities and 2-week trainings and whatever. It's like, just go invite your mom to join you.
Thank you. Yes. Awesome. Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm. I made that on Canva. And I think I uploaded the PDF into Beatnik. I'll double check. And I'm not the originator of that checklist. Like the original came from, I don't know, somebody else. And I just edited and changed it a little bit.
You guys have any other questions?
I can always have another scoop of Energize if we need to keep going.
Well, Julie, you know what I was thinking about earlier today? I was finishing up my work and was writing down some notes and things about tonight. And do you remember, I don't even remember what it was, but do you remember when you and I led some kind of call or training for Beatnik?
Oh gosh.
We were like baby coaches, like so new. You did not have Ezekiel yet. Like, I mean, this was like in the very, very, very beginning. And I think your mic or something, your computer, something went out and you're talking and like doing the training and like you can't hear a thing you're saying. Do you remember this at all? It was such a long time ago. And I was like, man, first of all, we've been at this for a while, number one. And number two, like sitting here and like doing these trainings and like having a team and a downline to even invite somebody to be on, and let alone for it to be someone like you who I've been in this game with seeing and doing from the very beginning. It's really, really cool, you guys. It's a full circle moment. And it's one of the best things about this business, like that I get to sit in the stands wherever I'm at Summit and cheer on my other coach friends like Julie. Like I get to cheer her on it and be proud of her success for her and what she's created in this business. It's a really, really cool thing. And so I'm so thankful for you spending some time with us tonight and talking with us. And you guys, I mean, she's just spitting out all the wisdom, and it's just keeping it simple, I think. So
Yes.
thank you guys so much. Thank you, Julie.
Bye, you guys.